let's talk about No Limits by PHILLIP Plein. Okay, so this is from the German fashion designer PHILLIP Plein, and it is this bottle that looks like a credit card with $1 trillion on it. The scent is called No Limits, and it is basically, it has this skull on the front. It is to pretty much mimic what they have in all of their stores. It's this glass skull that is in all of his stores across the world, and so he put it on this fragrance. Now look, ads for fragrances is not the greatest marketing strategy, but they're out there. I'm gonna link it below. It is the 45 seconds of your life that you will never get back. It is probably the most outrageous marketing ad I've seen for a fragrance, but honestly, let's find out whether or not the fragrance is as outrageous as the ad is. So what's in the bottle for this fragrance? This fragrance really has a little bit of sweet opening, subtle, nuanced sweetness in the opening, and then you get a couple of things. You get a little bit of chocolate, you get a little bit of vanilla, you get a little bit of incense, and you get a little bit of leather. And those are the big players to my nose in this fragrance. Really, you might think, okay, chocolate and vanilla, it's a little bit gourmand. It's really not a gourmand fragrance at all. This is a fragrance where, it is much more daring than anything else. I would say this is a very risque fragrance. What day of the week would you wear this fragrance? This is a fragrance that I think you could wear, for me personally, I could wear this every day, even to work, but not like 6-7 sprays, but maybe 2 sprays to the chest and 1 to the back of my neck, because it does project quite a bit. But I would say this would be perfect for a Saturday night or a Friday night, especially if you're wearing a leather jacket. This would be perfect for those type of occasions if you're out on the road with the top down or on a motorcycle. This would be a perfect fragrance for that. Or even if it's for somebody who has a very daring character, I think this would be very ideal for that type of person. Definitely wear this during the fall, during the winter. I think it's a little bit too aggressive and abrasive for the summer, but I think you could get away with 3 out of 4 for spring, fall, and winter with this fragrance. Price proposition to value. This fragrance comes in a 50 ml and 100 ml, and I think the 50 ml will run you about $105, and the 100 ml will run you about $125. So I would definitely wait until you hit discounters. This is actually a tester, so keep your eye out. You could find it at discounters. I paid around $65 for this, and this is the 100 ml, which is for me great value for this type of fragrance. I think once it hits around for this fragrance itself, based on the composition, around the $60 to $80 mark would be ideal for this fragrance. Performance, this thing is nuclear and will push through everything and anything. So that's why I would say, careful on the trigger unless you really want to be that person. I guess if you're on a motorcycle and you're going at those speeds, you would definitely want to wear 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, I don't know how many sprays you want of this thing, but maybe that's what you want to do. But this thing pushes, so be careful with a sprayer in terms of your environment, and but this thing pushes, right? So just be conscious about that. So some points of reference to this fragrance. I wouldn't say, a lot of people compare this to Gucci Guilty Absolute. My bottle is somewhere where I can't reach it right now, but I would say that people compare it because it is as daring as Gucci Guilty Absolute. I don't think it is similar in the sense of the scent. There is a sweetness that is adopted in No Limits that is not in Gucci Guilty Absolute. I know Gucci Guilty Absolute gets a lot of dislike in the community. Personally, I love that fragrance. I think if you are someone who likes daring and very shocking fragrances, like Fahrenheit, like Gucci Guilty Absolute, like Dark Rebel by John Barbados, you will absolutely like No Limits by Philippe Plein. Quite frankly, you should not be blind buying this. This is not a safe blind buy. It's not something that I would buy for somebody unless I knew them very well. But it's definitely something that I appreciate having in my collection, and for those reasons, it is definitely worthy of my collection. I think overall this is a daring, polarizing, sexy fragrance. I think overall this is a fragrance which is quite unique in its own right. It's not something that everyone will be wearing. It's not something that everyone has, and I think if you know, even just having the bottle, if you are a fragrance enthusiast, just the bottle itself is, you know, it is kind of gaudy, kind of tacky, but overall, you know, despite the bottle, the fragrance, very unique. And even if you don't buy this fragrance, I think you should at least give yourself a chance and try it, you know, and see if someone has it. I've seen some companies actually have 10 mils of this fragrance, like a tester travel size. If you're interested, I think you could definitely try this fragrance. It's not for everyone, but it may be for you. Okay, so have you tried No Limits by Philippe Plein or anything else by Philippe Plein? Is it something that you are considering? Is it something that is on your wish list? Are there other daring fragrances in your arsenal that you might want to recommend? Please put them in the comments below. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I would really appreciate it. It would help this channel grow, and I will catch you on the next one.